is by all means a story seeker, a heart teller, and has a passion for creating opportunities for people who have otherwise gone unrecognized traditionally in Hollywood filmmaking.
Meg Fleming is an award-winning children's book author, an educator, and powerful creator from outside of San Francisco. Her energy and her knowledge and her spirit has turned me into a better writer and human.
It's just been really wonderful getting to know him and to hear his perspectives and to get a firsthand feel for his unbelievable support for those who are working in the creative arts. And I can't wait for you to meet him.
I'm so excited to share more about her and for y'all to listen to some of the things we talked about being a writer and a creative in today's world. So thank you for joining us today.
It dawned on me late in life that I've always been a writer. I was always pretty dramatic, and I was always writing along with it, but I didn't think of it as a possible profession or career until my kids were little and I was reading picture books, and I was like, I should try this. They always say, write what you know and write from the heart. I've struggled with that because it seems so boring what I know that's so obvious. But when you loosen up and let yourself not be so hyper aware of yourself and just let it fall, then those hard stories really kind of come more easily. I tell 50% of the story, and then the illustrator tells the other half, and everybody's got their own hues and pigmentation and pieces of the work itself. And so their artistic sense is defining the piece, and everyone needs to be allowed to hold that space so that the book or the film can be as magical as possible. When you write books, you're stirring up drama, and there's dramatic tension and there's musical tension. And because that musical piece is so deeply ingrained for me, it's part of the play, it's part of the fun. When you listen to a piece of music, because your body is mostly water, the music changes you. It's a powerful thing. Most of the time I feel more like I'm writing music than I'm writing words. I'm looking for little pieces of music when I'm writing. That's pretty cool. It made it come together nicely because it's important to me. Like, music is really important. Sorry. But it's a language that goes beyond barriers. And that is true for all art. For me, it's the one that strikes a chord, literally. It informs everything for me, I think. It's an attraction to find the next story. There's all these pieces happening all at once where it feels like kind of a compulsion, like you can't resist a good story. If you see something or you get this inkling of an idea, you got to go chase it.
It's kind of hard to talk about that with people. There's a lot of stuff about us that like non-creatives just don't get. But then I also belong to these two beautiful subgroups that have always been difficult to learn about and to represent. And so I am like trying my hardest to do those things. Back in the 1600s, Chinese rule made the Hmong written language illegal as an attempt to erase our culture. And so for somewhere between 300 and 400 years, we had no written language. We had no books, no literature. We had nothing. But because we had no written language for 300 to 400 years, we became masters of oral storytelling. And I truly believe that storytelling is baked into my DNA. It's just a continuation in the lack of a home. And what's beautiful now is like we do have a home. In the hierarchy of needs, you need a home, you need shelter, you need comfort, you need assurance. I've never been without a home. And by not worrying about a home, I can worry about 3-act structure. I can worry about character bios. I can worry about color palettes, because my parents worked really hard to ensure that I didn't have to worry about things that they had to worry about. It took me a long time to get to a position to be a decision maker. Now I want to make sure that the decisions I make are good, sound, solid decisions.
I think as creatives, we tend to err on the side of these big deals are for other people, but why not? The first thing is perseverance, which you have, and deciding that you're doing it and you're not stopping. In the creative arts, there are so many pieces that you can't make happen. A lot of it is luck, and a lot of it is timing. A lot of it is knowing the right people, but deciding to persevere is an action. I think the hardest thing about being an artist is your own inner critic. I deal with it. I tell myself that there's certain things I can do, and then there's certain things I can't do. Don't do that. Because if you have a seedling of an idea, there's no reason that you can't do it. Water it and keep after it. I don't think we can let ourselves get so branded or so stuck in a moment that we don't grow. I think the best artists allow learning to propel their next phase, and it's okay.
Making art is the ultimate education. Is every piece of art you make, every film you make, or every screenplay you write, or every book you write, part of that has to do with cultivating your own voice. And as an artist, whatever medium, you're the driver and your voice is your thumbprint. And the biggest questions are, how am I going to do this myself? Because this is my voice.
Being true to yourself is always going to be the main driver. I think people can tell what's authentic and what's not. So I guess just knowing the heart of your stories and your vision, which you clearly do, and then sticking with it.
I used to hide the fact that I was and looked different. Now I am trying to do everything I can to make myself as different as possible. And it's just such a strange shift in the pendulum in one lifetime, you know.
You're a trailblazer, Jeremy, and just the act of holding back the curtain and saying, you too, come on, let's go. We need your story. We need your perspective. We need your honesty. You're doing that, and it's gonna grow. It's awesome.
Thanks, Meg. I appreciate that. I appreciate it a lot. Every book, every movie, every song that ever exists. There's no way to ever understand or comprehend everything that went into making them. Just like there's no real way that you and I can truly verbalize everything that goes into what we do for a living. And that's great. There's some little bits of magic that works just for us. There's nothing wrong with keeping a little bit of that to yourself either, I think.